Chapter 41. 1 At the end of 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. 2 Behold, 7 cattle came up out of the river. They were sleek and fat, and they fed in the marsh grass. 3 Behold, 7 other cattle came up after them out of the river, ugly and thin, and stood by the other cattle on the brink of the river. For the ugly and thin cattle ate up the 7 sleek and fat cattle. So Pharaoh awoke. 5 He slept and dreamed a second time, and behold, 7 heads of grain came up on one stalk, healthy and good. 6 Behold, 7 heads of grain, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 7 The thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 healthy and full ears. Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. 8 In the morning, his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all of Egypt's magicians and wise men. 9 Then the chief cup-bearer spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults today. 10 Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and put me in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, with the chief baker. 11 We dreamed a dream in one night, he and I. Each man dreamed according to the interpretation of his dream. 12 There was with us there a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. 13 As was interpreted to us, so it happened, I was restored to my position, and he was hanged. 14 Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. He shaved himself, changed his clothing, and came in to Pharaoh. 15 Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. I have heard it said of you that, when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. 16 Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It isn't in me. God will give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 17 Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood on the brink of the river. 18 And behold, 7 fat and sleek cattle came up out of the river. They fed in the marsh grass. 19 And behold, 7 other cattle came up after them, poor and very ugly and thin, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for ugliness. 20 The thin and ugly cattle ate up the first 7 fat cattle. 21 And when they had eaten them up, it couldn't be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ugly, as at the beginning. So I awoke. 22 I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 heads of grain came up on one stalk, full and good. 23 And behold, 7 heads of grain, withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 24 The thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 good heads of grain. 25 Joseph said to Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one, what God is about to do he has declared to Pharaoh. 26 The 7 good cattle are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years, the dream is one. 27 And the 7 lean and ill-favored cattle that came up after them are 7 years, and also the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind, they shall be 7 years of famine. 28 That is the thing which I spoke to Pharaoh, what God is about to do he has shown to Pharaoh. 29 Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. 30 And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. 31 And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine which followeth, for it shall be very grievous. 32 And for that the dream was doubled to Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. 33 Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. 34 Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint overseers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 years of plenty. 35 And let them gather all the food of those good years that are coming, and lay up food under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. 36 That food shall be for a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine that shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. 37 The thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. 38 So Pharaoh said to his servants, Can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? 39 And Pharaoh said to Joseph, Because God has shown you all this, there is no one as discerning and wise as you. 40 you shall be over my house, and according to your word all my people shall be ruled, only in the throne will I be greater than you. 41 Pharaoh said to Joseph, See, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. 42 Then Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and he clothed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. 43 He made him ride in a second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Bow the knee. Thus he set him over all the land of Egypt. 44 Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your permission no man may lift hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. 45 He called Joseph's name Zaphenath-Paneah, and he gave him Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, for a wife. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. 46 Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from before Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. 47 During the 7 years of plenty the land produced abundantly. 48 So he gathered all the food of the 7 years when it came, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field, which was round about each city, laid he up in the same. 49 Joseph laid up grain in great abundance, like the sand of the sea, until he stopped counting, for it was without number. 50 Before the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph, whom Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore to him. 51 Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God has made me forget all my toil, and all my father's house. 52 And the name of the second was Ephraim, for God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. 53 The 7 years of plenty that were in the land of Egypt came to an end. 54 Then the 7 years of famine began to come, as Joseph had said, and there was famine in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. 55 When all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, Go to Joseph, what he says to you, do. 56 The famine grew severe in the land of Egypt. 57 All countries came to Egypt to buy grain from Joseph, because the famine was severe throughout all the earth. Chapter 42 1 Now Jacob saw that there was grain in Egypt, and Jacob said to his sons, Why do you look at one another? 2 He said, Behold, I have heard that there is grain in Egypt. Go down there, and buy for us from there, so that we may live, and not die. 3 Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain from Egypt. 4 But Jacob didn't send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with his brothers, for he said, Lest perhaps harm happen to him. 5 The sons of Israel came to buy among those who came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. 6 Joseph was governor over the land. It was he who sold to all the people of the land. Joseph's brothers came, and bowed themselves down to him with their faces to the earth. 7 Joseph saw his brothers, and he recognized them, but acted like a stranger to them, and spoke roughly with them. He said to them, Where did you come from? 8 They said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. 9 Although Joseph had recognized his brothers, they didn't recognize him. 10 Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed about them, and said to them, You are spies. You have come to see the nakedness of the land. 11 They said to him, No, my lord, your servants have come to buy food. 12 We are all one man's sons, we are honest men. Your servants are not spies. 13 He said to them, No, but you have come to see the nakedness of the land. 14 They said to him, We, your servants, are 12 brothers, the sons of a certain man in the land of Canaan, and behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is no more. 15 But Joseph said to them, It is just as I have said to you, you are spies. 16 By this you shall be tested, by the life of Pharaoh, you shall not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. 17 Let one of you go and bring your brother, while the rest of you remain in prison, in order that your words may be tested, whether there is truth in you, or else, as Pharaoh lives, surely you are spies. 18 He put them all together in prison 3 days. 19 On the 3rd day Joseph said to them, Do this and live, for I fear God. 20 If you are honest men, let one of your brothers be kept in the prison, while you go and carry grain for the famine of your houses. 21 And bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words may be verified, and you shall not die. 22 They answered one another, Surely we are guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul when he besought us, and we paid no heed, therefore this distress has come upon us. 23 Reuben answered them, Did I not tell you, don't sin against the boy? But you didn't listen. So his blood is now required. 24 They didn't realize that Joseph understood them, for an interpreter was between them. 25 Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with grain, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provisions for the journey, and it was done for them. 26 They loaded their donkeys with their grain and departed. 27 When one of them opened his sack to feed his donkey at the lodging place, he saw his money at the top of the sack. 28 He said to his brothers, My money has been returned. Here it is in my sack. Then their hearts became faint, and they turned trembling one to another, saying, What is this that God has done to us? 29 When they came to Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, they reported all that had happened to them, saying, 30 The man who is lord of the land spoke harshly to us. He treated us as though we were spies of the country. 31 We said to him, We are honest men, we are not spies. 32 We are 12 brothers, sons of one father in the land of Canaan. One is no more, and the youngest is with our father today. 33 Then the man said to us, By this you shall be tested, as Pharaoh lives, you shall not leave this place unless your youngest brother comes here. 34 He detained us for 3 days. 35 Then he said, This is what you shall do, if you are honest men, let one of your brothers remain in prison, while the rest go carry grain for the famine of your households. 36 But bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words will be verified, and you will not die. 37 So they did it. One of them remained there in prison, and the rest stood before Joseph. 38 They answered Jacob their father, We can't go down. If our youngest brother is with us, then we will go, but we won't go if he is not with us, for his safety depends on him. Chapter 43 1 The famine was severe in the land. 2 When they had eaten up the grain which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said to them, Go again, buy us a little more food. 3 Judah spoke to him, saying, The man solemnly warned us, saying, You shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. For if you'll send our brother with us, we'll go down and buy you food. 5 But if you don't send him, we won't go down, for the man said to us, You shall not see my face, unless your brother is with you. 6 Israel said, Why did you treat me so badly, telling the man that you had another brother? 7 They said, The man asked directly concerning ourselves, and concerning our relatives, saying, Is your father still alive? Have you another brother? We just answered his questions. Is there any way we could know that he would say, Bring your brother down? 8 Judah said to Israel, his father, Send the boy with me, and we'll get up and go, so that we may live, and not die, both we, and you, and also our little ones. 9 I'll be collateral for him. From my hand will you require him. If I don't bring him to you, and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. 10 For if we hadn't delayed, surely we would have returned a second time by now. 11 Their father Israel said to them, If it must be so, then do this, take from the choice fruits of the land in your bags, and carry down a present for the man, a little balm, a little honey, spices and myrrh, nuts, and almonds. 12 And take double money in your hand, and take back the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. 13 Take your brother also, get up, and return to the man. May 14th God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may release to you your other brother and Benjamin. If I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. 15 The men took that present, and they took double money in their hand, and Benjamin, and rose up, went down to Egypt, and stood before Joseph. 16 When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, Bring the men into the house, and butcher an animal, and prepare, for the men will dine with me at noon. 17 The man did as Joseph commanded, and the man brought the men to Joseph's house. 18 The men were afraid, because they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks the first time, we are brought in, that he may seek occasion against us, attack us, seize us as slaves, and take our donkeys. 19 They came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they spoke to him at the door of the house. 20 And said, O, my lord, we indeed came down the first time to buy food. 21 When we came to the lodging place, we opened our sacks, and behold, each man's money was in the mouth of his sack, our money in full weight. We have brought it back in our hand. 22 We have brought down other money in our hand to buy food. We don't know who put our money in our sacks. 23 He said, Peace be to you. Don't be afraid. Your God, and the God of your father, has given you treasure in your sacks. I received your money. He brought Simeon out to them. 24 The man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them water, and they washed their feet. He gave their donkeys fodder. 25 They prepared the present for Joseph's coming at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. 26 When Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the house, and bowed themselves down to him to the earth. 27 He asked them how they were, and said, Is your father well, the old man of whom you spoke? Is he yet alive? 28 They said, Your servant, our father, is well. He is still alive. They bowed down humbly. 29 He lifted up his eyes, and saw Benjamin his brother, his mother's son, and said, Is this your youngest brother, of whom you spoke to me? He said, God be gracious to you, my son. 30 Joseph hurried, for his heart yearned over his brother, and he sought a place to weep. He entered into his room, and wept there. 31 He washed his face, and came out. He controlled himself, and said, Serve the meal. 32 They served him by himself, and them by themselves, and the Egyptians who ate with him by themselves, because the Egyptians don't eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. 33 They sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth, and the men marveled with one another. 34 He sent portions to them from before him, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. They drank, and were merry with him. Chapter 44 1 He commanded the steward of his house, saying, Fill the men's sacks with food, as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in his sack's mouth. 2 Put my cup, the silver cup, in the sack's mouth of the youngest, with his grain money. He did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. 3 As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, they and their donkeys. For when they had gone out of the city, and were not yet far off, Joseph said to his steward, Up, follow after the men. When you overtake them, ask them, Why have you rewarded evil for good? 5 Isn't this what my Lord drinks from and divines by? You have done wickedly. 6 So he overtook them and said these words to them. 7 They said to him, Why does my Lord speak such words as these? Far be it from your servants to do such a thing. 8 Look, we brought back the money which we found in the mouth of our sacks, each man's money was in the top of his sack, we brought it back in our hand again. So why would we take silver or gold from your Lord's house? 9 If any one of your servants is found with the cup, let him die, and we also will become my Lord's slaves. 10 He said, Very well, let it be according to your word, he in whose hand the cup is found shall be my slave. You shall be blameless. 11 Then each man quickly lowered his sack to the ground and opened it. 12 The steward searched, beginning with the eldest and ending with the youngest, the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. 13 Then they tore their garments. They loaded every man back on his donkey and returned to the city. 14 Joseph was still at the house, and they came to him, and they fell before him on the ground. 15 Joseph said to them, What deed is this that you have done? Don't you know that such a man as I can divine? 16 And he said, What is this we have done? Wasn't the money returned to us the first time we came? So we brought it back in our hand. We also have brought down new money in our hand to buy food. We don't know who put the silver in our sacks. 17 He replied, It is just as I said to you, there is to be no blame on you. He with whom it is found shall be my slave, but as for you, go in peace to your father. 18 Then Judah came near to him and said, Please let your servant speak a word to my lord. Don't be angry with your servant, because you are equal to Pharaoh. 19 My lord asked his servants, saying, Have you a father or a brother? 20 We said to my lord, We have an old father, and a young brother, his mother bore him after we came. 21 You said to your servants, Bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him. 22 Then we said to my lord, The boy cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. 23 But you said to your servants, Unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall not see my face again. 24 So it came to pass when we came up to your servant, father, that we told him the words of my lord. 25 Our father said, Go again, and buy us a little food. 26 We said, We cannot go down unless our youngest brother is with us. His safety depends on him. 27 Your servant my father said to us, You know that my wife bore me 2 children. 28 One went out from me, and I said, Surely he is torn in pieces, and I have not seen him since. 29 If you take this one also from me, and evil befall him, you will bring down my gray hair with sorrow to Sheol. 30 So now, when I come to your servant my father, and the boy is not with us, since his soul is bound to his soul. 31 It will come to pass, when he sees that the boy is not with us, that he will die, and your servants will bring the gray hair of your servant our father down with sorrow to Sheol. 32 For your servant became surety for the boy to my father, saying, If I don't bring him to him, then I will bear the blame before my father forever. 33 Now therefore please let your servant remain instead of the boy as a slave to my lord, and let the boy go up with his brothers. 34 For how can I go up to my father if the boy is not with me? Lest I see the evil that would come on my father. Chapter 45 1 Then Joseph couldn't control himself before all those who stood by him, and he cried, Cause everyone to go out from me. So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. 2 He wept aloud. The Egyptians heard, and the house of Pharaoh heard. 3 Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Does my father still live? His brothers couldn't answer him, for they were terrified at his presence. For Joseph said to his brothers, Come near to me, please. They came near. He said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. 5 Now don't be grieved or angry with yourselves that you sold me here, for God sent me before you to preserve life. 6 For these 2 years the famine has been in the land. There are yet 5 years, in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. 7 God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth, and to save you alive by a great deliverance. 8 So now it wasn't you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, lord of all his house, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. 9 Hurry, go up to my father, and tell him, This is what your son Joseph says, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me. Don't wait. 10 You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you will be near to me, you, your children, your children's children, your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. 11 There I will provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine, lest you come to poverty, you, and your household, and all that you have. 12 Behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks to you. 13 You shall tell my father of all my glory in Egypt, and of all that you have seen. You shall hurry and bring my father down here. 14 He fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. 15 He kissed all his brothers, and wept on them. After that his brothers talked with him. 16 The report of it was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brothers have come. It pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. 17 Pharaoh said to Joseph, Tell your brothers, do this. Load your animals, and go, travel to the land of Canaan. 18 Take your father and your households, and come to me, and I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and you will eat the fat of the land. 19 Now you are commanded, do this. Take wagons out of the land of Egypt for your little ones, and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. 20 Also, don't concern yourselves about your belongings, for the good of all the land of Egypt is yours. 21 The sons of Israel did so. Joseph gave them wagons, according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provision for the way. 22 He gave each one of them changes of clothing, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of clothing. 23 He sent to his father 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and provision for his father by the way. 24 So he sent his brothers away, and they departed. He said to them, See that you don't quarrel on the way. 25 They went up out of Egypt, and came into the land of Canaan, to Jacob their father. 26 They told him, saying, Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt. His heart fainted, for he didn't believe them. 27 They told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said to them. When he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of Jacob their father revived. 28 Israel said, It is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. Chapter 46 1 Israel traveled with all that he had, and came to Beersheba, and offered sacrifices to the God of his father, Isaac. 2 God spoke to Israel in the visions of the night, and said, Jacob, Jacob. He said, Here I am. 3 He said, I am God, the God of your father. Don't be afraid to go down into Egypt, for there I will make of you a great nation. For I will go down with you into Egypt. I will also surely bring you up again. Joseph's hand will close your eyes. 5 Jacob rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel carried Jacob their father, their little ones, and their wives, in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to carry him. 6 They took their livestock, and their goods, which they had gotten in the land of Canaan, and came into Egypt, Jacob, and all his offspring with him. 7 His sons, and his sons' sons with him, his daughters, and his sons' daughters. He brought all his offspring with him into Egypt. 8 These are the names of the children of Israel, who came into Egypt, Jacob and his sons, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn. 9 The sons of Reuben, Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. 10 The sons of Simeon, Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jachin, Zohar, and Shaul the son of a Canaanite woman. 11 The sons of Levi, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. 12 The sons of Judah, Onan, Shelah, Perez, and Zerah, but and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. 13 The sons of Issachar, Tola, Puvah, Iab, and Shimron. 14 The sons of Zebulun, Sered, Elon, and Yaliel. 15 These are the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Jacob in Paddan Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the souls of his sons and his daughters were 33. 16 The sons of Gad, Ziphion, Haggi, Shuni, Esban, Eri, Arodi, and Areli. 17 The sons of Asher, Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, Beriah, and Sarah their sister. The sons of Beriah, Heber and Malchiel. 18 These are the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter, and these she bore to Jacob, even 16 souls. 19 The sons of Rachel, Jacob's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. 20 To Joseph in the land of Egypt were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar priest of On, bore to him. 21 The sons of Benjamin, Bela, Becher, Ashbel, Gera, Naaman, Ahi, Rosh, Muppim, Huppim, and Ard. 22 These are the sons of Rachel, who were born to Jacob, all the souls were 14. 23 The son of Dan, Hushim. 24 The sons of Naphtali, Jaziel, Guni, Jezer, and Shillem. 25 These are the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, and she bore these to Jacob, all the souls were 7. 26 All the souls who came with Jacob into Egypt, who came out of his body, besides Jacob's sons' wives, all the souls were 66. 27 The sons of Joseph, who were born to him in Egypt, were 2 souls. All the souls of the house of Jacob, who came into Egypt, were 70. 28 Jacob sent Judah before him to Joseph, to show the way before him to Goshen, and they came into the land of Goshen. 29 Joseph prepared his chariot and went up to meet Israel his father in Goshen. He presented himself to him, and fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good while. 30 Israel said to Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, that you are still alive. 31 Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's house, I will go up and speak with Pharaoh, and will tell him, My brothers and my father's house, who were in the land of Canaan, have come to me. 32 These men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock, and they have brought their flocks, their herds, and all that they have. 33 It will happen, when Pharaoh summons you, and will say, What is your occupation? 34 That you shall say, Your servants have been keepers of livestock from our youth even until now, both we and our fathers, that you may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Egyptians. Chapter 47. 1 Joseph went in and told Pharaoh, My father and my brothers, with their flocks, their herds, and all that they own, have come out of the land of Canaan. Behold, they are in the land of Goshen. 2 From among his brothers he took 5 men, and presented them to Pharaoh. 3 Pharaoh said to his brothers, What is your occupation? They said to Pharaoh, Your servants are shepherds, both we and our fathers. For they said to Pharaoh, We have come to live as foreigners in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, for the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. 5 Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, Your father and your brothers have come to you. 6 The land of Egypt is before you. Make your father and your brothers dwell in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. If you know any capable men among them, then put them in charge of my livestock. 7 Joseph brought in Jacob, his father, and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. 8 Pharaoh said to Jacob, How many are the days of the years of your life? 9 Jacob said to Pharaoh, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not attained to the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. 10 Jacob blessed Pharaoh, and went out from the presence of Pharaoh. 11 Joseph placed his father and his brothers, and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had commanded. 12 Joseph nourished his father, his brothers, and all of his father's household, with bread, according to their families. 13 There was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan fainted because of the famine. 14 Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt, and in the land of Canaan, for the grain which they bought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. 15 When the money was all spent in the land of Egypt, and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph, and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For our money fails. 16 Joseph said, Give me your livestock, and I will give you bread for your livestock, if your money is gone. 17 They brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, for the flocks, for the herds, and for the donkeys. He fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. 18 When that year was ended, they came to him the second year, and said, We will not hide from my lord how our money is all spent, and the herds of livestock are my lord's. There is nothing left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. 19 Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants to Pharaoh. Give us seed, that we may live, and not die, and that the land won't be desolate. 20 So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for every man of the Egyptians sold his field, because the famine was severe on them, and the land became Pharaoh's. 21 As for the people, he moved them to the cities from one end of the border of Egypt even to the other end of it. 22 Only he didn't buy the land of the priests, for the priests had a portion from Pharaoh, and ate their portion which Pharaoh gave them. That is why they didn't sell their land. 23 Then Joseph said to the people, Behold, I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh. Behold, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. 24 It will happen at the harvests, that you shall give a fifth to Pharaoh, and 4 parts will be your own, for seed of the field, for your food, for them of your households, and for food for your little ones. 25 They said, You have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh's servants. 26 Joseph made it a statute concerning the land of Egypt to this day, that Pharaoh should have the fifth. Only the land of the priests alone didn't become Pharaoh's. 27 Israel lived in the land of Egypt, in the land of Goshen. They got themselves possessions in it, grew, and multiplied exceedingly. 28 Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the days of Jacob, the years of his life, were 147 years. 29 The time came near that Israel must die, and he called his son Joseph, and said to him, If now I have found favor in your sight, please put your hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Please don't bury me in Egypt. 30 But when I sleep with my fathers, you shall carry me out of Egypt, and bury me in their burying place. Joseph said, I will do as you have said. 31 Israel said, Swear to me, and he swore to him. Then Israel bowed himself on the bed's head. Chapter 48. One after these things, someone said to Joseph, Behold, your father is sick. He took with him his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. 2 Someone told Jacob, and said, Behold, your son Joseph comes to you, and Israel strengthened himself, and sat on the bed. 3 Jacob said to Joseph, God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. 4 And said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful, and multiply you, and I will make of you a company of peoples, and will give this land to your offspring after you for an everlasting possession. 5 Now your 2 sons, who were born to you in the land of Egypt before I came to you into Egypt, are mine. Ephraim and Manasseh, even as Reuben and Simeon, will be mine. 6 Your offspring, whom you become the father of after them, will be yours. They will be called after the name of their brothers in their inheritance. 7 As for me, when I came from Paddan, Rachel died by me in the land of Canaan on the way, when there was still some distance to come to Ephrath, and I buried her there on the way to Ephrath, also called Bethlehem. 8 Israel saw Joseph's sons, and said, Who are these? 9 Joseph said to his father, They are my sons, whom God has given me here. He said, Please bring them to me, and I will bless them. 10 Now the eyes of Israel were dim for age, so that he couldn't see. Joseph brought them near to him, and he kissed them, and embraced them. 11 Israel said to Joseph, I didn't think I would see your face, and behold, God has let me see your offspring also. 12 Joseph brought them out from between his knees, and he bowed himself with his face to the earth. 13 Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand toward Israel's right hand, and brought them near to him. 14 Israel stretched out his right hand, and laid it on Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand on Manasseh's head, guiding his hands knowingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. 15 He blessed Joseph, and said, The God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day. 16 The angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. Let them grow into a multitude upon the earth. 17 When Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. He held up his father's hand, to remove it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. 18 Joseph said to his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. 19 His father refused, and said, I know, my son, I know. He also will become a people, and he also will be great. However, his younger brother will be greater than he, and his offspring will become a multitude of nations. 20 He blessed them that day, saying, Israel will bless in you, saying, God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. He set Ephraim before Manasseh. 21 Israel said to Joseph, Behold, I am dying, but God will be with you, and bring you again to the land of your fathers. 22 Moreover I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Chapter 49. 1 Jacob called to his sons, and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you what will happen to you in the days to come. 2 Assemble yourselves, and hear, you sons of Jacob, listen to Israel your father. 3 Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, excelling in dignity and power. For unstable as water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed and defiled it. 5 Simeon and Levi are brothers, instruments of cruelty are in their dwelling place. Let not my soul enter their council, nor my honor be united to their assembly. 6 For in their anger they slew a man and hamstrung an ox in their self-will. 7 Cursed be their anger, for it is fierce, and their wrath, for it is cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. 8 Judah, your brothers shall praise you, your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies, your father's children shall bow before you. 9 Judah is a young lion, from the prey, my son, you have gone up. He bows down, he crouches as a lion, who dares rouse him up? 10 The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples. 11 He ties his donkey to the vine, and his donkey's colt to the choice vine, he washes his garments in wine and his vesture in the blood of grapes. 12 His eyes shall be red through wine, and his teeth white through milk. 13 Zebulun shall dwell at the haven of the sea, he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall reach Sidon. 14 Issachar is a strong-boned donkey, lying down between two burdens. 15 He saw a resting place that it was good, and the land that it was pleasant, he bowed his shoulder to bear, and became a servant under tribute. 16 Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. 17 Dan shall be a serpent in the path, biting the horse's heels so that its rider falls backward. 18 I wait for your salvation, O Lord. 19 Gad shall be attacked by a troop, but he shall attack at their heel. 20 Asher's food shall be rich, and he shall yield royal dainties. 21 Naphtali is a hind let loose, he gives beautiful words. 22 Joseph is a fruitful bough by a spring, his branches run over a wall. 23 The archers bitterly attacked him, shot at him, and harassed him. 24 But his bow remained firm, and his arms were agile, because of the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, from there is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. 25 The God of your father, who helps you, and the Almighty, who blesses you with blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep that lies below, blessings of the breasts and of the womb. 26 The blessings of your father are mighty beyond the blessings of my parents, up to the bounties of the everlasting hills. May they be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of the one distinguished among his brothers. 27 Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, in the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. 28 All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them, he blessed them, each one according to his own blessing. 29 He charged them and said to them, I am to be gathered to my people, bury me with my fathers in the cave of Machpelah, which Abraham bought as a possession for a burial place from Ephron the Hittite, in the field of Mamre. 30 There they buried Abraham and Sarah, Isaac and Rebekah, and Leah. 31 The field and the cave that is in it were purchased from the sons of Heth. 32 When Jacob had finished commanding his sons, he drew his feet into the bed and expired, and was gathered to his people. Chapter 50. 1 Joseph fell on his father's face, wept on him, and kissed him. 2 Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father, and the physicians embalmed Israel. 3 40 days were used for him, for that is how many days it takes to embalm. The Egyptians wept for him 70 days. For when the days of weeping for him were past, Joseph spoke to Pharaoh's household, saying, If now I have found favor in your eyes, please speak in the ears of Pharaoh, saying, 5 My father made me swear, saying, Behold, I am dying. Bury me in my grave which I dug for myself in the land of Canaan. Now therefore, please let me go up and bury my father, and I will come again. 6 Pharaoh said, Go up, and bury your father, just like he made you swear. 7 Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt. 8 All the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their little ones, their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goshen. 9 Both chariots and horsemen went up with him. It was a very great company. 10 They came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and there they lamented with a very great and severe lamentation. He mourned for his father 7 days. 11 When the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning by the Egyptians. Therefore its name was called Abel Mizraim, which is beyond the Jordan. 12 His sons did to him just as he commanded them. 13 For his sons carried him into the land of Canaan, and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, which Abraham bought with the field, as a possession for a burial site, from Ephron the Hittite, near Mamre. 14 Joseph returned into Egypt, he, and his brothers, and all that went up with him to bury his father, after he had buried his father. 15 When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, It may be that Joseph will hate us, and will fully repay us for all the evil which we did to him. 16 They sent a message to Joseph, saying, Your father commanded before he died, saying. 17 You shall tell Joseph, Now please forgive the disobedience of your brothers, and their sin, because they did evil to you. Now, please forgive the disobedience of the servants of the God of your father. Joseph wept when they spoke to him. 18 His brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we are your servants. 19 Joseph said to them, Don't be afraid, for am I in the place of God? 20 As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring to pass, as it is today, to save many people alive. 21 Now therefore don't be afraid. I will nourish you and your little ones. He comforted them, and spoke kindly to them. 22 Joseph lived in Egypt, he, and his father's house. Joseph lived 110 years. 23 Joseph saw Ephraim's children of the 3rd generation. The children also of Machir the son of Manasseh were born on Joseph's knees. 24 Joseph said to his brothers, I am dying, but God will surely visit you, and bring you up out of this land to the land which he swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. 25 Joseph took an oath from the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you shall carry up my bones from here. 26 So Joseph died, being 110 years old, and they embalmed him, and he was put in a coffin in Egypt.